Hi, this is Pondit Bookkeeping Services, where we talk about accounting for business growth. In this video, I would like to answer another question. I've answered a few questions in previous posts. So this question is, let me see, how do I phrase it now? I've heard it in different ways, but it's more like, how do I know when I need to borrow money for my business? Okay, so this is what I need to say first of all. A loan is not an income. A loan is not an income. It's not money that you have earned. It's money that you need to apply to the business so that you can generate more sales, okay, and ultimately more profit. Because from the profit you will repay the loan. So a loan is not an income, it's something that needs to be repaid, meaning that in deciding to take a loan there needs to be a plan as to how much revenue will be generated to give us sufficient profit to repay the loan. Because if you do not have sufficient profit to repay the loan, by the time you have struggled to repay the loan, you will need to take that loan all over again. Which is why the interest cost of the loan is something you need to consider. Never go into taking a loan without factoring in the interest cost and how you are going to generate the revenue to be able to meet up with that obligation. Otherwise, it means that you really have no plans to repay. You just want to take the money and hopefully get them to write it off. I mean, there are people like that, but I'm speaking to those business owners who have integrity, who want to run credible institutions that will be there even long after they're gone. Generational businesses. Those are the kinds of people that I'm speaking to right now. So if you're starting out, this is part of having the right mindset, and you say you want to take a loan for the business. That's something you need to consider, or something you need to first keep in mind, that it's not income. It's going to be repaid back. And how is it going to be repaid? It's going to be repaid from the profit you will have generated from the business. So when is the right time to take a loan? This is what I will say to you. Before you take a loan, you need to prove your concept. And by that, I'm saying you need to even understand how you make money as a business, the frequency of your income generation. When are the good times? When are the low times? When do customers patronize you the most? And how many customers even patronize you? What are the things you do that increase sales? And what are the things you do that make sales dip? Okay, so you started the business. Do you have sufficient customers to keep your business running? You do not want to experiment with other people's money, because that way you will be putting yourself under grave pressure by the time they come knocking for their monies. Okay, so which is why some people get upset that, oh, banks are not giving them money. They do not know what you have done with your own money. They can't see what you've done with your own money, so you can't expect that they will just part with their own money. They are responsible to their own stakeholders, and they need to get their monies back. So you need to prove yourself with your own funds, whether you need to save up to get it done, or whether you need to come together with friends who have trusted you over time, and they want to see, okay, they want to support you, they want to see what you can do. Yes, those are the ways to start off. So before you take a loan, you must have proven your concept. You must have understood how your business generates money, how your business spends money, what you retain in that business at the end of a period, whether it's monthly or yearly. Then you can say, okay, it's possible we can take on a loan. Now, in taking on a loan, it also means that your demand has exceeded your current capacity to supply. It will be wrong for you to just take a loan because you want to experiment, right? Okay, so you're taking a loan because your current capacity, you can no longer meet up your demand. So for you to be able to meet up your demand, you need additional funds. Customers are bogging you down with orders, and there isn't enough money to stock up on the goods that will meet up those orders. Then, I mean, a lender will be very, very eager to give you the money because they can see what your records are. They can see that you have excess customer demand, and they can see that, okay, this money already has a guaranteed source of repayment, which is the excess customer demand. So for every loan you want to take, there must be a guaranteed source of repayment. In this particular scenario now, I have painted a situation where your demand exceeds your capacity to supply. That is the point where you need to, take on a loan so that you can actually, get a greater share of the market. Okay, you don't disappoint people, because if your demand constantly exceeds your ability to supply, then you need to get ready for customers to switch to a bigger player. Okay, so yeah, so as you watch your business and you're saying that, hey, you're getting to the point where customer demands are going to exceed my capacity to supply, that's the moment where you need to begin to get in additional funding. And trust me, because you've proven your concept, because you have records that clearly show your income generation capacity, your cash flow, and all of that, you are more likely to attract, get funding availed to you. Right? So I'm hoping that this is something that has helped you think through your process. Please don't just jump into getting a loan because you need money. It's not an income, it's something you need to repay. There must be guaranteed sources of repayment. So you need to first get in your customers, getting a steady base of customers, and then grow that probably through funding. But there must be a guaranteed source of repayment. That is just something you need to be able to figure out. Okay, so and I painted a clear or simpler form. When your capacity to supply is lower than your demand, or when your demand exceeds your capacity to supply, that's a critical indication that you need to get in additional funding so that you can get that larger share of the market. Okay, so if you want to work out cash flow projections, work out simulations in terms of proposals from your lenders, interest rates, and all of that, that's something that we can do for you. All you need to do is send us an email, info@ponditbookkeeping.com, and we will be glad to work with you. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. All right then.